Stu, it's me. I'm back. In town, I mean. I was in Maui for a week. You know, I had the ticket, so I decided to get away, try to clear my head. The latest in a lifelong string of bad ideas. Yeah, anyway, I guess I was just hoping to hear your voice. So Stu really didn't call while I was away? No, I know you said, but there weren't any mysterious hang-ups?
Did you come home 3 days early to sit by the phone?
No, I got tired of watching all the happy couples frolicking on the beach.
How much actual happy couple frolicking was there?
It's Maui, Mom. They were frolicking their brains out.
Well, you will be happy to know that I tied up the loose ends from the wedding.
What loose ends were there?
Settled with the caterer, donated the flowers, and the kilts went to the Hartford Community Theater. They're doing Brigadoon.
They were rented.
I know. I'm trying to introduce a little levity.
Mom, Taylor's Aunt Bree told Taylor that you could be a whole week on Dr. Phil. What does that mean?
It means that Taylor's Aunt Bree needs to get a life, sweetheart.
Her mom says that you're fickle.
Your mother is not fickle. She has the courage of her convictions. And we have a 3-tiered cake in our freezer. Well, sweetheart, where do you go from here?
You know what, Mom? I just got back last night. Let's give it a rest.
Don't you think you should have some sort of plan?
Actually, I really don't feel like talking about it.
What do you think the possible repercussions will be if you're setting aside the verdict?
Look at us not talking about it.
Taylor's grandma says that you can't tell the difference between love and sex.
Okay, there's a new rule. We're not allowed to talk about me, my life, or what happened to me and my life. That goes for you, Taylor, and anyone that knows Taylor.
I think what your mother did was admirable. You cannot marry the wrong man to keep from hurting his feelings, even if you don't know that he's the wrong man until you get to the altar.
Victor says that if...
Does Victor know Taylor?
Judge Gray, thank you for stopping by.
Judge Wells, I don't think we've been formally introduced.
You may not know me, but I certainly know a lot about you.
Well, what you hear floating around the halls isn't necessarily gospel.
Well, listen, they wouldn't have offered me the job of presiding judge if they didn't think I had some knack for discernment.
Well, obviously, we have a lot to talk about. I realized that I left during the middle of a judicial firestorm.
Well, I prefer to say you crawled out on a judicial limb and then sawed it off.
I feel strongly I did the right thing.
And I wish I could find some consolation in that for me.
Well, I am not the first judge to vacate a verdict.
Judge Gray, I've been over your entire record. It's not like this is the first time you caused a ripple.
I haven't caused anything. I was trying to do my job.
I'm going to suggest you take some time in therapy.
A shrink?
A judicial guidance counselor.
Judge Wells, I really appreciate your concern, but I respectfully decline.
You're confused because I used the word suggest.
Well, I know you're not implying that if I don't take your suggestion that I will no longer be sitting on the bench.
No, of course not. But until you take my suggestion, there'll be a dearth of cases on your docket.
Fine. We'll see your counselor as soon as possible.
I'll make the arrangements.
Thank you.
Maxine, you've never been one to turn your back on the less fortunate.
And yet, Sean, I know exactly where this is going. You are about to ask me to get involved in one of your pet programs.
Rescue Worldwide. Temp placements of Russian orphans in the hopes they become permanent adoptions. And yes, it is a program which I am very passionate about.
Sean, there are more than enough children in Hartford who need placements.
I know.
Then obviously we have nothing more to talk about. If you truly want to alleviate human suffering, you can start by getting rid of that tie.
Her name is Polina Vostova. She's 16 now. She spent the first 7 years of her life in a filthy crib. There were bouts of pneumonia and meningitis. 9 months ago, rescue placed her with a family in Hartford. And what exactly is wrong with my tie?
Well, let's just say there's a reason it was still at the store. Oh, lovely. Heartbreaking. And unfortunately, not uncommon.
The family wants to adopt her. My arrangement with rescue is that when that happens, I send in a caseworker.
And what would you do for me in return? Would you like to know what I think about your trousers?
Here is the toxicology report on Rose Gibson, and Mr. Farbstein wants the visiting list amended to exclude his wife, whom he refers to as that buzzard with my credit cards. And that's it. So if you don't mind, I am going to go crash somewhere.
Well, actually, I do mind.
I'm going into my 13th hour without a break.
Yeah, well, Kyle, I don't know if you've noticed, but I'm just a little overwhelmed in
You know,
here.
I hadn't noticed. I was too busy playing poker in the doctor's lounge.
A guy with his sights set on upper management shouldn't hide behind humor or in the doctor's lounge. In fact, that guy might be looking for ways to make my life easier.
All right. How can I make your life easier?
You can fire Nurse White.
A new one if she's screwing up?
She has a voice that can peel paint.
You're firing her because of her voice?
No, I'm ordering multiple trauma management software, okay? And I'm paying for it with a 6% cut in the nursing budget. She was the last hired and therefore the first fired. Her voice is just simply something that keeps me from feeling bad about her misfortune.
So why am I the one to fire her?
You volunteered. Yeah.
So, you're a single mother?
Lauren, she's 11. She's discovered boys.
And that scares you?
Makes me want to move to a small town in Utah and homeschool her until she's 30.
They have boys in Utah.
Don't screw up my escape fantasy.
I was hoping we'd talk about your issues on the bench.
Wouldn't know where to start.
The Jacob Foster case.
Well, to get into that one, you'd have to get into the whole criminal court system.
We have an hour.
That's not enough time for the backstory. Look, I'd always had a certain amount of ambition. When I did the Wall Street thing, that didn't work out, and being a juvenile court judge seemed to be the right fit, but I got tired of being in the judicial basement with the leaky ceiling and the lack of respect. So this criminal court thing came along, and I went for it. I didn't realize that I'd be watching from the sidelines in a straitjacket.
What, you know there'd be guidelines?
Guidelines, yeah, but I'm wasted there. What I'm good at? 12 civilians have that job, and they send up a little slip of paper when they're done.
Okay, then, given what you know yourself to be good at, what's your fantasy work situation? Something you could do in Utah.
In a perfect world, I'd have more freedom. Flexibility. I'd resolve conflicts in creative ways, considering both the nature of the offense and the nature of the offender. I'm really good at that. When I used to deliver my verdicts, sometimes I'd surprise myself. It's like I knew something on some deep level. And I knew how to translate it into law. Okay, we're done here.
But our time's not up.
Yes, I know, but I'm healed. Thank you. You're very good.
Here's where we have family time. We play games on computer, watch movies.
And Paulina has her own room.
She certainly does. That's a promise we made from the start.
Paulina, tell Mrs. Gray about your room.
I have TV, phone, air conditioner. It's like I'm princess.
I will need to speak with Paulina alone.
Certainly.
Sure.
So, quite a fan of Madonna's, are you?
Madonna? Madonna's tired. That is Gwen Stefani. She rules.
Of course she does. Tell me about the Blankenships.
They are good to me.
That sounds like a nasty cough. Have you been ill?
I'm fine.
You don't sound fine. Have you seen a doctor?
No. No doctor. I told you I'm very happy here. I have everything.
Yes, including a bad cough.
You don't understand. If you make a report, people will come. I will be returned back to orphanage. You cannot know how bad it is.
Perhaps you can give me an idea.
Orphanage is prison. No heat. No clean water. Food is for animal. If I leave, I will be on street, which means I will end in jail or dead. Do not do this, please. Please.
Where's everyone?
There's risotto on the stove if you're hungry.
How long's it been there?
Too long. Bring your chisel. Nobody showed up on time.
What are you doing?
I'm writing thank you, but ... notes. Dear Aunt Ruth, I'm returning the crock pot. Please give it to someone in the family who's not a mental case.
Good luck finding one.
Cool, an iPod. Can I have it?
No, honey, it has to go back.
I thought it was a present.
It's a wedding present. To keep it, I would actually have to get married.
Anybody home?
Hi. In the kitchen.
You're late.
Quicken. New version. We'll install for food.
There's risotto congealing on the stove.
Fantastic.
Amy, I wanted to say something to you about your wedding.
We're not allowed.
I know you probably feel awful about what happened, but I think you're really, really brave. Well, you got the awful part right. The strength it must have taken, you really regained my admiration. I had lost your admiration? How many times do we float along, caught up in some momentum like a riptide, and find ourselves miles away from where we want to be?
Come on, honey.
But you did the parallel swim. You broke out of that riptide and found your way back to shore.
Come on, honey. Let's go. You look hungry.
Jillian's really weird since she died.
She's a little daffier than usual, but we don't have to analyze it.
Did she say I regained your admiration?
I'll get it. It's Victor.
Come on, honey, hang out with your nutty relatives. Take your mind off your troubles for a while.
I will. In a minute.
I don't know why you're getting so worked up. Just rip the Band-Aid off.
And when have you ever fired anyone?
Tons of times.
Name one.
Okay. Okay. I hired a personal shopper once. Things didn't go well. I dropped the axe right before Christmas.
Why am I even having this conversation?
Tell you what, we'll do a little role playing. Yeah, you can practice firing me.
No.
Oh, come on, give it a shot.
Okay. Nurse White, I'm sorry, but we're gonna have to let you go.
You're firing me?
Yeah.
You can't fire me. I need this job.
No, I understand that.
No, I don't think you do. I'm paycheck to paycheck. I got 5 kids to feed. My husband left town with a cocktail waitress after racking up a mountain of debt on my MasterCard.
Donna.
Look, if you fire me, I'll be living on the street, eating out of dumpsters. My kids will have to go to an orphanage.
Donna.
What? I'm doing a good job. You're not even trying.
That's because this is stupid.
It's not stupid. You're just upset because it's too real.
Okay, fine. Either way, we're done.
I thought you wanted my help.
I want not to have to fire someone.
Look, here's what you do. Just sit her down and speak from your heart.
Okay. Nurse White, as a fellow healer and a fellow witness to human suffering, but a fellow who's not used to causing it.
You're toast.
Oh, God.
Come in.
I did what you suggested. I went to see that counselor.
Did you learn anything?
Yes. I learned that I don't need to go to counseling.
Was that your counselor's opinion or your own?
Well, here's what I realized. That everything that made me effective in juvenile court was working to my detriment in criminal court.
Precisely why I hope some time with a counselor would yield some clarity.
It has. I'd like to go back to juvenile.
Do you want to climb down the ladder of success?
Maybe I have a different idea of what success is now. Maybe I've come to realize that it means something to me, that stupid little leaky room in the judicial basement, where at least I know I'm doing somebody some good. I know it might sound hokey, but there it is.
Well, you have every right to reach that conclusion.
But...
And I could easily have an opening for you. You see, I have a strong desire to unburden Judge Bell of the weight of her judicial mastery.
You gonna ask her to take her boats and go home?
I could suggest she take a sabbatical, which would leave me with an empty courtroom and an out-of-work CSO, both of which used to be yours.
You're willing to take a chance on me?
If I fired every mentally unbalanced judge in this building, the halls would echo.
We need to discuss some of the issues you will be confronting as Paulina's parents.
What issues?
Thank you. Well, I know that there have been people here before me to talk to you about attachment disorder and frustration, overwhelm, and other symptoms.
They've been here and we've read the materials.
Mrs. Gray, we believe we can deal with whatever comes. I mean, any problem can be solved with enough love.
The experts would disagree with you.
We don't believe in experts.
They can't even agree with each other.
Well, let's talk about Paulina's cough. Have you taken her to see a doctor?
We've tried.
The poor thing is just terrified of doctors.
Actually, it's more than that. She's afraid that if you think she's sick, she'll be sent back.
That's what she told you?
We've explained over and over that she's here to stay regardless.
You have to remember, she may seem worldly, but she's really just a young girl with terrible memories of a Russian orphanage.
Well, what can we do to help her, Maxine?
You may want to eventually consider family therapy, but right now let's worry about getting her well.
Yeah, we'll do anything to help Paulina. She just means the world to us.
I heard. I wanted to be the first to welcome you back.
Thank you.
Look, I'm sorry about missing your wedding.
Did you know? You didn't. Oh, God. It got worse.
I underestimated the availability of maritime items. I almost quit when she started calling me little buddy. I was going to draw a line if she asked me to play Professor and Mary Ann. Hello, is this thing on?
Bruce, have you heard? We're back.
I heard. I'm not sure Judge Gray knows.
Judge Gray's just not in the mood for jocularity.
Okay. Tough room.
Did he say why I didn't come to your wedding?
No. He's too busy telling boat jokes.
All right.
All right. We're here for disposition in the matter of the state versus Paige Lang, who is present, as is counsel. It's good to be back. I see they fixed the ceiling, but not the pipes.
Baby steps, Your Honor.
Yes.
Catching you up. Paige Lang, defendant in this case, has pled delinquent to assault and battery with a dangerous weapon, which was committed during an act of student hazing, facts of which are on record. The incident was caught on videotape, which has been entered.
And this guilty plea was made of the defendant's free will and in accordance with the law?
Yes, Your Honor, we so stipulate.
Okay, very well. We will then proceed to the sentencing phase.
Does this mean I don't get to tell my side of the story?
I'm sorry, am I missing something here?
Your Honor, the facts in this case, as well as the guilt of the defendant, are not in dispute.
And yet, I would like to hear from the defendant. Miss Lang, is there something you were not allowed to say during the trial?
That other judge. There was stuff she wouldn't let me talk about.
Let me be clear. Do you still wish to plead delinquent?
I just want people to know what really happened.
Objection, Your Honor.
It is my right to explore this case before sentencing. And since I am playing catch-up and since the defendant feels that there were certain pertinent facts that did not make it to the bench, here's what we will do. We will take a short recess and reconvene here to watch the videotape. And what time will that happen, Mr. Van Exel?
11:30.
11:30. I will see everyone then.
Maxine.
Dr. McCarty, this is Paulina Vestova. And thank you for seeing us on such short notice.
Hello.
Paulina's from Russia. She's staying in Hartford and feeling a little under the weather. I was hoping that you could tell us why.
Hey, baby. T-shirt.
Oh, no doubt. They're the best.
Gwen Stefani rocks.
Totally.
I tell you what, why don't I do a quick exam and we'll see if we can find out what's going on.
Nothing bad will happen?
Nothing bad will happen.
In this sequence, we see Miss Adams being showered with feces, house paint, and pig parts. I don't believe I need to comment on sanitary concerns.
I've seen enough.
Your Honor, as established earlier, this tape is clear and irrefutable evidence of the charges in this case.
Objection, Your Honor. The probative value of this tape is clearly compromised by the poor quality of the image.
We're here to evaluate evidence, not cinematography. I could see everything I needed to see.
Well, then I would argue that you're witnessing events out of context.
Unless the victim asked to be beaten unconscious, I hardly see that context is relevant.
I assure you, Your Honor, the victim did not ask for this. Courtney is an exemplary teenager. She volunteers at Children's Hospital.
And she started her own nonprofit recycling center.
She took 3 cans to the grocery store and put it on her college application.
Okay, I will agree with the state and consider character of both the victim and the accused.
Oh, please.
Order.
You just can't handle the fact that your daughter's a monster.
I said order.
Your Honor, I can't believe you're falling for this act. Are you as blind as Judge Bell?
She's blind? Look in a mirror.
How can I look in a mirror if I'm blind, you moron?
And where do you think she gets it? You've slept with half the Rotary Club.
Your daughter is a vicious little bitch.
All right, enough. Stop it. There is clearly more to this case than was revealed in the original hearing, and we are going to get to the truth. So we're going to hear testimony from the accused this afternoon. When will that be, Mr. Van Exel?
3 o'clock.
At 3 o'clock. Thank you.
Can I sit down? If I sit down, will you be speaking to me?
I spoke to you this morning.
And as pleasant as that was, can we warm it up a few degrees?
Why did you fake a headache and skip my wedding?
Rumor has it everybody skipped your wedding.
That's not funny. We're either having this conversation or we're not having a conversation.
If we have this conversation, I'm gonna tell you the truth.
Good. What do you think I want, a lie?
Okay. There I was in my skirt, looking surprisingly good, by the way. And when the time came to get in the car, I couldn't do it.
Because of the kilt?
Because of Stu Collins. I couldn't stand there and watch you marry Stu Collins.
Why?
Partly because I think you're too good for him. too smart, too wise, too complicated. And you're literally too good.
You said partly. What's the other part?
Something I don't know how to name.
Try.
Well, it has to do with, I guess it did.
I've been Googling my buns off. Hey. 2 cases out of Colorado, 3 out of Florida, all hazing, multiple Vicks. Would you like me to run them down for you? Okay, this could take a while.
Then I will see you later.
Okay. First case out of Florida, High School Honor Society, no less. They kidnapped this girl out of her house around midnight.
I had a break. I thought I would, come see you in person.
Paulina.
She tested positive for oral gonorrhea. I figured you had a suspicion.
Well, you figured wrong. My money was on bronchitis.
This is, ampicillin. She needs to start a cycle right away, and I'd like to see her again so we can schedule a follow-up. I can't keep this off the record anymore.
I understand.
Westfield seniors have been schooling juniors since forever. It's no big. It happened to my mom.
So then what we have here is a pattern of abuse?
Okay, thing is, Courtney had it coming. I'm telling you the truth, and she knows it.
The treatment that we saw on the tape? How could anyone have that coming? Miss Lang, it really would behoove you to answer my questions.
She's not the way she's acting. I know she plays victim and everything, but she's really this total bitch. She tells lies about me. She spreads rumors. She turns people against me. I can't even walk down the hall. She left these messages on my boyfriend's voicemail. He broke up with me because of them.
Ms. Adams, is that true?
Sort of.
I need a little bit more than sort of. I'm trying to understand why Paige would want to hurt you.
I don't know. Maybe she doesn't like me that much.
She hit you on the head with a bucket.
Okay. Well, there have been times where we've liked the same guy, or I got a better grade than she did.
Your Honor, the voicemail tape was offered as evidence but disallowed by Judge Bell. I make a motion that you reconsider.
Motion granted. Do you have the tape?
Yeah.
Marshall.
Are you out with that skank Paige again? I hope you don't think you're special. She slept with like half the school, not to mention the teachers. But hey, if that's who you want to go out with, that's your business. If you don't care about vital body parts rotting off, I mean, gotta go. Late.
Your Honor, motion to strike. Hearsay.
Denied. Ms. Adams. I'm trying to reconcile what I just heard on this tape with the victim that you're claiming to be.
Okay, so I lied a little. But she beat me up. She's mean. She steals all my boyfriends. As soon as I like a guy, she just moves in. Ask my mom.
She's right. Paige Lang is a vicious little ringleader. She's made our lives a living hell.
I've had just about enough. I'm not going to sit here and listen to these people trash my child.
Your child is a slut.
Well, yours is a psychopath.
Objection!
Overruled, both of you. I've heard all I needed to hear. My decision to follow. Adjourned.
All rise.
We need to talk.
Talk about what?
Paulina, you have a sexually transmitted disease.
I told you, I want to be left alone.
You need to begin taking these antibiotics immediately, according to the instructions. You need to stop smoking. And you need to tell me who you've been with, because someone else needs treatment as well.
It's not a big deal.
Tell me the truth, and I will decide on the size of the deal.
But he said if I tell, I will be sent back.
Who is he?
No one.
Listen to me. You must give me his name because he needs medical attention.
When Mrs. is not home, Carl
Blankenship?
It's not like it's really sex. It's only oral.
Paulina, it is really sex.
You must not tell anyone. I cannot go back to Russia. It's no life.
Neither is this.
I have to go to class.
You can't go back to that house. I'll be here at 3 o'clock to pick you up, and I'll take you to someplace safe.
Briefs and a couple of motions.
Thank you. Hey, Bruce.
Yeah.
You were going to say something in the cafeteria before Donna came in?
Was I?
You said it was something you couldn't name.
I don't remember.
Well, if it ever comes back to you.
You'll be the first to know.
It wasn't me. It wasn't me. She's lying. That bitch is lying. Let me go. It's a lie. It's not like she said. A lot of help you were. The bitch is lying.
We opened our home to her. We gave her everything. And look what she did. Look what you did.
Where is she? School says she didn't show up for her last class.
I don't care. I never want to see the lying bitch again.
Do you have any idea where she would have gone?
I don't give a damn.
Yes, you've made that clear, but we do. And we need to find her.
Well, that's your problem. It's not mine.
It's all right, Nancy. At least you're looking for her.
I made her a promise, Sean.
They'll find her, I promise.
I'd like to be notified when they do.
Excuse me.
Nurse White, you got a sec?
Kyle, I said you the whole formal thing. It's Jolene.
Jolene, right.
Yes.
So, Jolene,
Yes?
I wanted to talk to you about... Look, I know you barely know me, so this may seem a little odd.
Kyle, are you hitting on me?
Am I what?
If you're trying to ask me out, just cut to the chase.
No, you're getting the wrong idea.
Look, I think you're a really nice guy, and, you're even kind of cute, but I have a policy. I don't putt on the company green.
It's a very wise policy. Jolene, you're fired.
I'm what?
That's what I was trying to tell you. We are overstaffed, and there are our budget issues, and it's one of those things.
Oh, yeah, and I know which one of those things. I won't play ball, so I'm gone?
No, there was never a ball.
Oh, yeah, like I haven't seen this before. Guy gets a little responsibility. Suddenly he's a power-sucking misogynist with a god complex.
You will find work. I will write you a glowing recommendation.
I don't want a thing from you. The next person that you're going to hear from is my lawyer.
How'd it go?
Great. I think she's going to name a child after me.
Oh, at least it's done.
I've always been sickened by the things that girls are capable of doing to each other. I hated it in high school. Now I'm going through it with my daughter. And here I have it in my courtroom. And in this case, I have the additional element of mothers who nurture and condone their daughters inflicting emotional and physical violence upon each other. Popularity and social standing is the holy grail to these two girls. That's all they care about. And they behave like animals because they've learned there won't be any consequences. Welcome to the court of consequences. Now, the seriousness of this offense would warrant commitment to DCF for long-term institutional placement. That means I could put your butt away for a long time. However, because it is the defendant's first offense, I will limit the term to 30 days. In addition, once Miss Lang is free, I sentence her to 500 hours community service, and that time she will spend with Miss Adams at her much heralded nonprofit recycling center. Oh, there is a recycling center, isn't there? Well, there has to be. Otherwise, Miss Adams perjured herself when she gave her testimony.
It's in the planning stage.
Good. Good. Then you two girls can make it a reality together. And while you are reclaiming lost items, I suggest that you start with yourselves. Hey, Stu, it's me. Again. You're not calling me back, which I get. So, listen, I think I did us a favor. You don't know what divorce is like. It is ugly and painful, and it takes a piece from you that you just don't get back. I saved us from that. The way I did it wasn't great. In fact, it was horrible. And I really don't have any excuse for that, except to say that I didn't know until I knew. But anyway, I'm sorry. And I really, 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 really hope you're okay.
Here's how the world works, Amy. You can leave a man at the altar, or you can have him like you. You can't have both. I know you don't want to hear it. And here's a couple more things you probably don't want to hear. You are a complicated woman. You come from a long line of them. Just celebrate that.
Woohoo!
And you do not need a man to validate your existence.
Mom, every woman says that. None of them believe it.
I do.
Any objective person would say my life is a train wreck.
Amy, your life is a high-class train wreck. Well, everybody's life is some kind of a wreck. Just be grateful that you have a roof over your head.
Hello? Oh, yeah. Yeah, hey, Sean. Yeah, I'm okay. Yeah, she's here. Okay.
Hello, Sean. Well, is it a reliable tip? No, I'll go. I will go. I'll be back.
You can't just tell me I'm complicated and then walk out the door. Where are you going this time of night?
To another train wreck.
Hey, Ma, I got my job back.
Class guy, always the white penny wagon free. Double no flow. Got what you need, live and breathe on good smoke. Who so who know who should, who will, who will. Remember this song. That's the most standing who can. I'm on the
How did you find me?
There aren't a lot of places for an unemployed teenager with no green card and no money to go. Please get in the car.
Leave me alone.
Paulina, Carl Blankenship was arraigned. There will be a trial. He will never hurt you again.
There is always a man.
They're not all like Carl Blankenship.
This is your opinion.
That is my experience. I will find you a safe family.
Whatever.
You have my word.
Your word? You are sad, but
That for me.
Paulina, you came a long way to find freedom.
Maybe freedom is I choose who will treat me badly. Hey, you want some company?
Paulina?
Sure. Come on, let's go.
Trust me, you haven't heard of him.
Try me. I have a radio in my car. I stay current.
His name's 50 Cent.
How do you spell that?
50, like the number, cent.
Wouldn't that be 50 Cent?
Everyone calls him 50 Cent. That's just what he's called.
What is that? That would be 50 Cent. Apparently the second F is silent. I'll take it.
But Mom, Victor gave that to me.
Lauren, we've talked about this. I want to listen to it first.
No one else's parents care what they listen to. This is totally unfair.
Totally. Moving on. I'd like you to explain this homework to me.
What about it? It's a vocabulary sheet.
Yeah, I looked at it last night. It was a perfect vocabulary sheet. What happened?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Since when does chivalrous mean to feel chilly? And momentous does not mean to have big mountains.
So, I made a mistake. People make mistakes, right, Grandma?
Stay out of this. Lauren, why did you change these answers?
We're gonna be late for school.
Lauren.
Because last time I got 100, I was the only one in the class, and Mrs. Kaplan made a big, huge deal out of it and put my paper up on the bulletin board.
How awful for you.
See, you don't get it. Everyone was talking about me, and at lunch, Melissa Bland started calling me Sister Suck-Up and Foreign Lauren.
What? That doesn't even make sense.
It doesn't matter. It rhymes. Even Victor was laughing.
So this was your solution? You deliberately wrote wrong answers to impress the dumb students?
I knew you wouldn't understand.
You're right. I don't. Get in the car. Do you hear all that? See what she's becoming?
Ever since she was born, I warned you about the gangrene years. Had you listened, you wouldn't be surprised now. What are you looking for?
I had some brochures over here.
I didn't want the plumber to see them.
There is nothing wrong with private school,
It says
Mom.
a public school student who went to Harvard and became a judge.
Well, that's different. I was good in school. Lauren is totally disinterested.
Then, by all means, spend $10,000 a year so she could be totally disinterested wearing a uniform. Over the line?
Yeah, a little bit.
Merriweather Academy? You're serious?
I'm just taking a tour of the place. I'm not signing her up. She couldn't start till next year anyway. Why is this such a big deal?
It's not. It's just that I didn't know you had your heart set on turning into a Republican.
The Kennedys all went to private schools.
You want to turn it into a Kennedy?
Judge Gray,
Mr. McLaren,
how are you?
I'm, still vertical.
I'm David McLaren.
Bruce Van Exel.
Nice to meet you. Well, it's nice to see you vertical. Would you excuse me? I have a... Thanks.
Still vertical?
I get nervous.
Why?
I don't know. He makes me nervous. Don't you have people in your life who make you nervous for no reason?
Do I look like I have people who make me nervous for no reason?
I do not understand. I always go to that meeting.
Uh-huh. You always write a letter to the commissioner the next day apologizing for your behavior.
I do not.
Well, that's right. I always write the letter of apology and sign your name to it.
You're joking.
Oh, I wish I were, Maxine. We're trying something new this year. It's a pilot program. It's called You Stay in the Office While I Go to the Budget Meeting by Myself.
Maxine, a woman named Carrie White appears to be staging a sit-in at your desk.
This Miss White, this is unexpected.
What did you do with my kid?
You were present at Kayla's court hearing?
Yeah, and the judge said he was putting her in that group home on Martell Avenue.
Until you have a certified 6 months of sobriety.
So where the hell is she?
Let's settle down. I'll get you some water.
I don't want your water. I want to know where Kayla's at. I went over to the damn home, and that troll at the desk never heard of her.
When was this?
Yesterday.
Okay, Jason Richards, Rachel Byler, both minors seeking sole custody of their daughter Ellie, born 4 months ago. Their requests have been filed by their parents and joined for hearing. Is that about right?
It is, Your Honor.
Seems relatively straightforward.
Not for long.
Are they in the right courtroom?
Your Honor, these are members of the Byler family?
I take it that the Byler family is Amish,
That's correct.
which would make Miss Byler herself Amish,
Yes.
which would mean I'm a little confused. Since when do Amish teenagers have babies out of wedlock?
They don't. But Rachel met Jason and became pregnant during Rumspringa.
Okay, still confused?
It's a rite of passage. During Rumspringa, Amish teens are allowed to spend time out in the modern world before deciding whether to reject it.
And while they're out there deciding, they're what, out there partying with the rest of teenage America?
Basically, yes. Until they figure out whether they want to return to the church. Rachel left her community several months after she met Jason. And she's been living with his family in Hartford for most of this past year.
And you wish to return to your community, Miss Byler?
Yes, ma'am. I do.
The Bylers are willing to assume complete financial responsibility for Ellie.
So are the Richards.
My client has been Ellie's sole caretaker for the last 4 months.
Because my client has been going to school and working to support his child and her mother.
Well, whatever the reason, we can demonstrate that the child's attachment is to Ms. Byler. And Ms. Byler feels that her and the baby are best served living with her large extended family.
All of whom live in houses without electricity and drive buggies.
Mr. Richards.
Our family can provide that baby a normal life.
That's enough. Okay, I see both sides have entered written evaluations from child psychologists into evidence, so that means I have some reading to do. We will reconvene at what time, Mr. Van Exel?
11 o'clock.
11 o'clock it is. Thank you.
McCarty! There you are. You know what, Todd? I find it irritating that you run around yelling McCarty like we're working at a fast food restaurant.
Oh, is that what they do at fast food restaurants? I've never worked at one.
I don't know where you were before, but there's a certain protocol around here that Lily established.
Oh, yeah. Now, look, we just got a 10-year-old boy in with 3 fingers severed in a biking accident. Now, the kid's grandmother is on her way down right now, but she just called from her cell phone to tell us that he's HIV positive.
And we need to get a doctor for infectious disease down here.
Just patient. Let's go on and do a full intake, administer Ancef 60 milligrams, okay? Oh, and thanks for that protocol update. I'm gonna take that to heart, really.
Kayla White, Kayla. You're not serious. WHITE, like the house. The president's house. Of the United States of America. One nation, arguably, under God.
Maxine, I found her.
Listen, this has been edifying, but I have to say goodbye. Where is she?
You're not gonna like it.
Is she in the morgue?
No.
Then I assure you, I will like it.
Clarksport Institute.
Well, that doesn't make any sense. Clarksport is a psychiatric facility.
I told you weren't gonna like it. See, you're probably thinking what I thought, which is someone found her on the street, she mouthed off, they locked her up for 24 hours on a 5150, but that's not it.
Then what is it?
She was transferred there from the group home. Because of the budget cuts, the state sent her there to live.
Dwayne. Hi, I'm Dr. McCarty.
I said my grandma's coming.
She's on her way. How are you feeling?
Is it true what the nurses said? You've got my fingers in a fridge somewhere?
Believe it or not, that's the best and safest place to keep them.
And you can put them back on, right? Like nothing ever happened?
Dwayne, listen to me. Dwayne, hey. Look, I know this is scary, man, but you've got the best doctors, and we're gonna do everything we can.
What are you waiting for? You're the doctor, right?
I'm one of the doctors, but in your case, we need another doctor, a special doctor, to make sure that no one else gets sick while we're making you better. You understand?
Because I've got HIV.
That's right.
Just tell me you can fix my fingers.
The HIV, that's one thing. No one can see it. But if I don't get it on my fingers, I don't want to stay like this.
As soon as the other doctor gets here, we're gonna get started.
When Rachel first told me she was Amish, I thought it was a joke. We met at a keg party. There wasn't a whole lot of Amish coming off her. But then Rachel explained to me this Rumspringa thing, how you're supposed to use this time to decide if you want to be Amish.
And had she already made her decision?
Yeah, she said she wanted to stay. She didn't want to go back.
But that was before I really knew what it was like living out here and before I had my baby.
Miss Byler, you'll have your turn.
Look, I wanted her to stay. I told her, I'm making some money now. She could have lived with me and my dad, but Rachel's dead set on going back. And that's her choice, but I can't let her take Ellie with her. I don't want my kid to be like them. I mean, Rachel is the best-hearted person, but the way she grew up, it's really set her back.
Mr. Richards, I can't help but notice you keep looking at your father. Is there something he needs to say to me?
No.
Permission to speak, Your Honor.
Go ahead.
What my son is dancing around is a simple fact. This is a very, very sweet girl, but her upbringing has crippled her. There's no other way to put it. In the real world, she's unable to hold a job.
Objection, Your Honor. The real world.
I get it, Mr. Lippman. Continue, Mr. Richards.
I tried to employ Rachel at my office, but I had to fire her after 2 weeks. She didn't know how to use a computer. She had never even seen a calculator, and she barely evidenced a 6th grade education. Your Honor, if Ellie goes back with them, we will never see her again. And I admit, this is partly selfish. I don't want to lose her. But more than that, I don't want my son to lose his child. He doesn't know what kind of pain that will be.
Thank you.
Yes, I left a message. I left 3 messages, which makes this my 4th message. When you finally do locate Dr. Garner, will you tell him for the 4th time that we need him down here stat?
Big M.
You know what? I actually prefer McCarty.
Whatever. Why isn't the Johnston kid in the OR?
I've been trying to get infectious disease down here for hours.
How long have the kids' fingers been on ice?
It was 3 hours before they even got here. I'd say we're going on 7 hours and counting.
They're only going to be viable for another 2 hours, tops. I can't keep waiting. Let's just go ahead.
Without the infectious disease consult?
Yeah, that's what I said.
You know these aren't just guidelines, right? This kid is HIV positive. You want the infectious disease guy in the room.
It's hospital red tape is what it is. It's legal nonsense. You want to see this kid lose his fingers?
No, of course not. And if you knew me better, you'd know that I'm the last person in the world to give a flying crap about red tape. But if there's one thing that I learned from Lily...
Hey, Kyle, when you look at me, do you see a 30-year-old blonde with some dark roots?
No.
And when we're alone together, do you have an overwhelming urge to throw me on the floor and rip my clothes off?
Again, no.
Okay, then, so we're clear. I'm not Lily. Use triple gloves at all times, take all standard precautions. Come on, let's get this kid prepped.
Sorry, visitors are not allowed in this area.
No, you misunderstand. I am not a visitor. I am Caleb White's social worker.
Well, only family members are allowed.
Let me be clear. Caleb White is a ward of the state. That makes me her mother and her father and her Uncle Matthew. Now show me where she is, or I will use whatever small power I have to make your life as difficult and disagreeable as I am able.
Do you think you can threaten me?
I believe I just did.
The girl you're talking about, she's in the infirmary.
Oh, dear God.
Why did you let this happen?
Kayla, I just heard about it. Who did that to you? Kayla?
My roommate. She just went full out psycho and started wailing on me in the middle of the night.
And so you put restraints on her?
It's standard procedure after an altercation. We put them on all patients in the infirmary. What are you doing?
She's not a patient. She's a 14-year-old foster child. The state has been housing illegally here.
You have no authority to do that. I'm calling security.
Fine. Tell them we'll meet them in the lobby. Kayla, I'm here to help you.
I told them I'm not crazy. I told them when they brought me in, but they wouldn't listen to me.
Well, they should have. Kayla, come with me. Okay, you're okay. Okay. Take a deep breath.
I'd share custody with Jason if I could, but there's just no way.
Why is that?
Because I'm going back to be baptized next month. Once I become a member of the church, I'm required to break off all contact me and my baby have with the English world. Even with Jason. I have to. It's a condition of joining the church.
And if you continue to have contact with Mr. Richards after you're baptized?
They freeze her out. Rachel and Ellie, they abandon them both.
Mr. Richards, you've had your turn.
No, he's right. If I ever saw Jason again, or Ellie did, it would be considered an unforgivable sin.
That seems unduly harsh. Mr. Byler, is this true? You would not allow Rachel to maintain contact with Ellie's father?
It's not just me, it's the community. Our tradition is one of separation. It's what defines us. And if Rachel continued to have contact with this English boy, we would have no choice but to shun her.
And when you say shun...
The community would turn its back on Rachel and Ellie. They would be sent to live by themselves. Our family would be prevented from talking to them or even talking about them.
See, this is what you're sending Ellie back to. It's like a cult.
Mr. Richards...
What does it sound like to you? Look, I know what this is about. She's afraid that we won't be able to take care of her by ourselves, that we won't have the money.
You keep saying that, but it's not about money. It's more than that. I can't live the way people live here. It's too lonely. Everything moves too fast. I miss my family. I want Ellie to know them.
What about my family?
Jason, you barely have a family. Your mother lives somewhere in Florida. Your father's home 2, maybe 3 nights a week.
For God's sake, he's being penalized because I work hard?
I grew up with 8 brothers and sisters. My grandmother still lives with us. If you let my family take her, Ellie will never have to come home to an empty house. Or even a babysitter. And no, she won't learn how to use a computer or drive a car, but she will learn other things. My father will wake her up in the middle of the night to see a newborn calf. She will go to sleep to the sound of the rain on the wheat, under a quilt made by all the women, with a prayer in every stitch. How can anyone call that an inferior life?
I understand you're crowded. All the facilities are crowded. But it's just one bed for one small girl and... Hello? Hello? That was my 18th call. I believe that's actually a new record. Apparently there are no existing beds anywhere, no matter how small the girl. And you want to know why that is?
Because my friend the commissioner...
Because your friend the commissioner doesn't know how to allocate his funds.
He's not my friend.
Let me go to that budget meeting tomorrow. He needs to be made aware.
It's not my decision. Commissioner called last week, asked that you not attend.
He said me, specifically.
He spelled your name. Good night.
Are you angry? Because if you're angry, we can talk tomorrow.
I'm not angry.
Well, you look angry. I just took a call from a private placement, a couple named the Cliffords. They say they've dealt with you for 15 years and they'd be willing to take Kayla just based on that.
Bless you.
There's more.
And this must be the bad news.
I kind of did an informal survey of our residential facilities. This whole thing is worse than you thought. This past week, another 12 girls have been transferred to Clarksport. These are their files.
Hey, listen to this. I'm into having sex. I ain't into making love. So come give me a hug if you into getting rubbed.
Welcome to the world of 50 Cent.
You know him?
Not personally. But he is on Rebecca's Things to Annoy My Dad with list.
I tried to listen to the CD. Couldn't make out a single word. Had to go online to find the lyrics. So come give me a hug if you into getting rubbed. That's what Lauren's listening to.
Here's my theory. You can complain about it, and it'll be a 2-year phase. Or you can ignore it, and it'll be a 2-month phase.
Or you can do this.
And then she'll download it, and the FBI will be at your door.
You know what? Maybe I'd be doing Baby Byler a favor if I shipped her off to Lancaster where she'd never see MTV or have a boyfriend at age 11.
Good. I was hoping we moved to the ex parte portion of this conversation.
Okay, hypothetical. When you saw Witness, didn't it make you want to go live there and grow a beard and go to a barn raising?
No. But I did want to put Sam Cooke on the car stereo and dance with Kelly McGillis in the Halo.
See?
I think this is more about Lauren Cassidy than it's about Baby Byler.
You know what? You're religious. Why does God do this? Pump them full of time-released hormones and turn them into monsters when they hit puberty?
I think the theological reason is so we'll be glad to see them leave for college.
That's it? That's all you got?
Look, don't worry about the Byler case. You're just rusty from slumming up there in criminal.
And my hormone-infested daughter?
Okay, take a deep breath. And remind yourself there's worse stuff coming.
It's a terrible thing to say. That doesn't make me feel good at all. You're a bad, bad shrink.
Hey, I'm a court services officer.
Tell me you're not doing a Z-line suture. You'll leave a scar.
We've been in surgery 6 hours. This kid can keep his fingers. I think he can live with a small scar.
Yeah, well, there's no reason for him to. Not when a mattress closure won't cause one. You've heard of those, haven't you?
His heart rate just hit 179.
What's his temperature?
101 and climbing.
It was 97 just a few minutes ago. All right, let's get some ice on him. Give me a hypothermic blanket, please. Who are you?
Dr. Garner with infectious disease. I had a page about Dwayne Johnston. What's going on?
Well, you can see for yourself. He's obviously developed an infection, which doesn't make a lot of sense since we've had him on a heavy dose of Ancef since he was admitted.
You're dealing with a HIV-positive child unless you gave him an antibiotic that's tailored to his virus. It's as if you gave him nothing at all, which is why I'm supposed to be here before you begin operating.
And if you'd answered any of the 6 pages we left you, you would have been.
Heart rate 182, 183.
This kid is about to go into cardiac arrest. Forget what we should have done. What do we do now?
At this point, all you can do is get his temperature down.
What do you think all this is for? All right, let's get some more ice on him. Rotate these packs. Give me another blanket.
My older daughter goes here, Nora. That's her, in the blazer. She's an ambassador. Oh, I still remember the nightmare of getting her in. And would you believe they had the wrong zip code and the acceptance letter was 3 days late showing up?
Oh, gosh, that must have been awful.
So I went to the post office, and I'll admit it, I bullied my mailman into digging through that bin until he found it. When I saw that envelope, do you know what I did?
A little dance?
I shouted, "My baby's going to Princeton."
Oh, excuse me. What are you doing here?
They got free cookies.
Hello, everybody. I'm Logan. I'm a 7th grader here at Merriweather, and I will be conducting your tour. But Merriweather is a lot more than just its buildings, or its library, or its new gym. In fact, trying to sum up the greatness of Merriweather would be inherently reductive.
What did you just say?
Merriweather is built
Reductive.
with rich and inspiring traditions.
I don't think I used reductive in a sentence until I was 30. Even then, it was a mistake.
I'm sorry. Is there a question in the back? Okay, then. Why don't y'all follow me?
You still asleep?
Yeah, but the fever's gone and the fingers look good. I just filled the grandmother in. Left out the part where he almost lost his life.
Hey, if you're looking for an apology, you're not gonna get one.
I'm not looking for anything.
Oh, this will brighten your day. Garner's gonna bring me up in front of the mortality and morbidity board.
It doesn't make any sense. The surgery was successful.
I'm new, and if they're gonna dump me, they'll do it before they spend a lot of money on me.
When's the M&M?
10 o'clock tomorrow morning. Oh, and McCarthy, you'll love this. Your presence has been requested by the Chief of Staff. So, I'll see you in the morning.
I trust you enjoyed the presentation. Thanks for coming. Do you have any questions?
Well, that wave particle thing, it's always bothered me. But that would keep us here past your bedtime.
Well, here's my email address.
I'll be in touch.
It was a pleasure meeting you. Drive safely.
If Logan is their best advertisement, I'm not encouraged.
I mean, Logan's gonna be the next governor of California.
Well, what do you think, aside from Logan?
No. I just started this whole hideous process.
Me too. What are the schools you're looking at?
Probably the same ones you are. Chandler, High Point, Barrington. You know. Listen, I know this may be a sore topic. I owe you a cup of coffee. How about now?
Trying to get it over with?
No. I just thought.
Okay. Yeah, there's actually something I'd like to talk to you about.
I'll be back with a rag.
So what's up?
Well, this is a little awkward. One of the reasons I was looking into Merriweather for Lauren is... Well, do you think it's a good idea for Lauren and Victor to go to the same school?
I understand.
You do?
One of the reasons I'm looking at Merriweather is to get Victor away from Lauren. But I'm still... He's still... having nightmares. You know, he's seeing a shrink twice a week. I just don't think throwing a girlfriend into the mix is the right thing to do. If we both choose Merriweather, I'll arm wrestle you for it. And the loser has to choose another school.
The bun cake's a little stale and the tapioca looks watery. But I think you're safe with everything else.
Coffee? 2 coffees, please. Why don't you get the watery tapioca? I'll get the bun cake and we can share.
All you owe me is a cup of coffee.
Where's your sense of adventure?
Maybe I don't have a sense of adventure. Maybe I don't want one.
That's no skin off my ass. More stale bun cake for me. Look, the Merriweather thing isn't going to be a problem. I honestly don't think I can send my son to a school that has valet parking on Parents' Night.
I don't think I could take my kid to a school where they have Logan for Parents' Night. Oh, what the hell? Let's order some shellfish.
Wow. Sense of adventure is one thing. Death wish is another.
Who knew you were funny?
Don't let it get out.
Oh, God. Is bill paying time already? How'd it go? Merriweather. I don't think I'd survive the parent nights. They can't all be that bad.
How long did the thing last?
I went out for coffee afterwards with one of the prospective parents. You know, compare notes and stuff.
Uh-huh. What'd she think?
She didn't like it either. I'm tired. I'm gonna go to bed.
Good night. Hello, Sean.
Maxine, what are you doing here? I told you twice you were not invited to this meeting.
Yes, you did.
2 times I told you. Just go on, get out of here. Quickly.
He's redone the office.
Maxine, I mean it. Go now. Commissioner Pollard.
Sean Potter. This is Sharon Yee, head of the Democratic Caucus. Well, this is a surprise. I didn't think you'd be able to make our meeting.
Maxine Gray. I freed up my schedule so I could talk to you about your latest budget cuts in person.
Maxine, a word?
What word?
I'd like to have a word with you.
After I have a word with the commissioner. I see you've redecorated. Is the living room ensemble new?
We've had that for several months. Is there some point to this, Ms. Gray?
God, I hope not.
Yes, there is. And it has to do with the fact that DCF seems to be able to afford couches for your office, but not beds for its clients.
That is a wildly unfair accusation.
Is it? Ladies, come in. This is Maria and Crystal, little Yolanda, and this is Jennifer. And I don't know the other girls' names, but I should, because they're all my clients, and none is mentally ill, which is why I had them removed from Clarksport Institute, the psychiatric hospital where they were being housed.
Maxine, you are so out of line.
Look, I know it's not the ideal situation, but the fact is there is a real shortage of beds.
Yes, one that you created by the way you handle your budget cuts, which interestingly did not involve any boys. Apparently you feel that their programs are important enough to continue funding. What would you call that? State-sponsored sexism?
No, I wouldn't.
Of course you would. These girls need proper housing as much as their male counterparts.
I agree. I do. And I am working very hard to try to solve the problem. But right now, there just is no place better for them.
They look quite comfortable here. And I noticed that you have excellent bathroom facilities, a nice little kitchenette. I'm sure that the girls would be safe right here until you can find that better place.
By any measure, Ellie Richards is a very fortunate child. She has two intelligent, caring parents that are devoted to her well-being. Unfortunately, they do come from very different worlds. I wish I could see into the future. I wish I could tell you which one of these worlds would guarantee Ellie happiness and success. But I can't. Ellie not only has two parents, but also two families who love her, and I simply do not believe it's in her best interest to keep her from having a relationship with either one of them. So I am rejecting both requests for sole guardianship. My ruling is for shared custody.
No.
Your Honor, shared custody is the one solution that's not a solution.
Your Honor, I agree with opposing counsel. Shared custody is not an answer.
It is if I say it is, and I just did.
You're forcing my client to choose between her child and her heritage.
No, Mr. Lippman, her tradition is forcing her to choose. So I'm giving you 30 days to come to a settlement. Mr. Richards?
Jason, sit. You have to sit.
No, I won't do this. She'll be shut off from her entire family. They both will.
What are you saying?
Want Rachel to have custody.
What?
Your Honor, a recess?
Are you nuts?
Mr. Richards, let him speak.
Look, the thing that I really want here is for us to raise Ellie together here, but she's got to go back. This will ruin her whole life. I can't do that.
You will never see her again.
Dad, she's my kid. I know what I'm doing.
Well, I can file my own petition. I can file my own petition, can I, Your Honor?
You certainly have the right. But you would have to provide a preponderance of evidence to show that you are the better candidate to raise Ellie rather than her own mother. And in the absence of any abuse or neglect allegations, I have to say I do not think you'd prevail.
This is really what you want.
Yeah, it is. Really is.
Go ahead. Withdraw our case.
Well, Mr. Richards, you and your father understand that you are giving up the right to raise Ellie. Okay. Then I'm going to deny Mr. Richards' petition, and I'm vesting sole custody of Ellie in her mother, Rachel Byler.
I paged infectious disease at least 3 times. And Dr. McCarty called them several times as well.
And when you didn't get them, you, what? Just decided to go ahead and operate anyway?
Well, if I can explain.
That's why you're here.
I checked his white blood cell count, did a full chem panel, It was my judgment that the patient was okay to undergo surgery.
Your judgment dictated that it was acceptable to ignore policy and expose this entire institution to a multi-million-dollar lawsuit because you thought it was okay? Is that your defense? In my opinion, your judgment is severely flawed. I, for one, am going to recommend that your privileges be pulled immediately and that you be sent packing.
I'd like to say something. What Dr. Hooper did was a lot more reasoned than you're making it out to be. The T-cell count was high. The patient seemed strong enough to undergo surgery, and a decision had to be made. Either wait and let this boy lose half of his fingers or go ahead. And Dr. Hooper made a best case decision. Now, if you don't think it was the right one, go talk to Dwayne Johnston. He's in his room having breakfast. Now, the truth is, I don't particularly like Dr. Hooper. But our train wreck of a hospital is lucky to have him, in my humble and not particularly solicited opinion. Though I would point out that you wanted me here. The problem is that I've run out of excuses for you.
Someone had to slap that sorry excuse for a commissioner into consciousness.
It had to be you. It always has to be you. You have no sense of the big picture here. The fact that we work for these people. Here's the thing, Maxine. You are making my job harder.
Your job is supposed to be hard, Sean. Housing foster children in a psychiatric ward because we're too cheap to pay for regular beds. Well, I just couldn't let that go.
You don't let anything go. That's the whole point. You jump to DEFCON 1 at the drop of a hat. You set these things in motion, and then I am left sending letters of apology and fruit baskets in your wake.
I will send the letter of apology myself. I take full responsibility for my decision.
No, it wasn't a decision. Decisions involve logical, considered thought. What you did was childish, emotional, and...
And what?
Look, you found safe beds for those girls, and that's huge. But you don't see anything wrong with how you accomplished it. And you don't seem to care that you could have cost me my job. Am I wrong to think of us as friends?
Of course you're not. But you and I both know that no one's going to fire you over anything I do.
The hell they won't, Maxine. This is some insane reality you've invented. Speaking of which, I don't know what's going on with you. Maybe it's Jared, maybe it's something else, but lately I'm worried about you, all right? And that's the truth. I want you to think about getting some help.
Help?
Go see someone.
Psychiatric help?
Therapy.
I've had therapy.
One session when your dog died is not what I'm talking about.
Is this an order?
It's a plea from someone who cares very much about your well-being, and I don't think you're well.
I appreciate your concern, Sean, but I simply don't have time for mental health.
Yes, you do. Starting Monday, I'm pulling you back to 20 hours a week.
You are not serious.
You've got to figure out what's going on, Maxine, for everybody's sake.
I gotta tell you, I'm just about the last person I thought would throw me a lifeline.
Why'd you do it?
I don't really know. Oh, shit, I do. It's a power play.
No, but of course you would think that. Someone did it for me once.
Let me guess, Dr. Rediger.
Yep, not long after I got here, she called it a mulligan.
Oh, whatever. I appreciate it.
Well, for the record, you only get one.
Hello?
In here.
Hi, I'm sorry I missed dinner. I was working late and then I stopped at the mall. Are you okay?
Why?
You're doing that thing. Angry knitting. Why are you doing that thing?
So I won't have to talk about it. What'd you buy at the mall?
A solution to one of my problems. should call him $18.50. That's what he costs. Check it out. Clean lyrics. Turns out they put out an alternative version.
Remarkable. The capitalists have figured out how to turn anxious, overprotective parents into yet another source of income.
I know. When did I turn into Elizabeth Dole?
I'm not going to dignify that question.
Okay, so here's the plan. I'm gonna wait till she's asleep, and then I'm gonna swap this guy out with the one in her stereo. Think it'll work? What do you think?
It's worth a try. And it's a lot cheaper than private school.
Yeah, that was a bad idea, wasn't it?
Not my place to say. It was a very bad idea.
I know. I know. She likes her school. She's happy. She has friends. Some parents would consider that a victory, but not me. I want her to be smart and miserable like her mom.
You're not so smart. And I know for a fact you're not so miserable. You're back in juvenile court, and you're pretty happy about that.
You just cannot contain yourself, can you?
I didn't say a word for 2 whole weeks.
You're happy that I'm back in juvenile.
Because that's where you belong.
Yes, I am happy about that, but I have a lot of weird stuff going on right now, Mom.
Yes, Amy, I've noticed.
No, I'm not. It's not just about the non-wedding. That was this external symptom. It's an inner thing. I just feel so... God, what is the word? It's like I'm in the grip of something. And it's huge and powerful. And the more I try to make it right... Well, you said it yourself. What I did, it took courage, right?
Yes, it did.
Okay. So I pushed the boulder out of the road, but there's still a road, and I'm still... Oh, God. Now I'm using sophomoric metaphors. I give up. I just feel like there's something looming, and I can put up my best defense, but it doesn't care. It's still coming. You don't know what the hell I'm talking about, do you?
I know exactly what you're talking about. I know about messes. If I believed in astrology, I'd say right now my moon is in the wrong house, or whatever the hell they say.
Well, if you know what I'm talking about, then you can answer this question for me. When I am trying to describe this feeling, what the hell is the word that I'm groping for?
Life.
You're gonna have to teach me how to knit. I know I'm forgetting something. My docket's clear, right?
Oh, completely. Louise has called in every favor she's owed. You have 2 more prelims, but anything that's not resolved by Friday, we can put on hold till you get back. Have you confirmed with the caterer?
Stu's taking care of it.
The band?
Stu's taking care of it.
See, this is what is so great about Stu. He's like a husband and a wife.
Hey, Bruce.
Miss Flowers let me in. We have a problem.
What's in the box?
Stu had this delivered to my office. It's what I'm supposed to wear to your wedding.
Stu, nothing if not organized.
And he's out of his mind.
Excuse me?
Listen, I'm happy to be a part of the wedding. I know it was your idea, but still. I appreciate him asking.
Bruce, what's wrong? It doesn't fit?
I have no idea if it fits, and I don't intend to find out.
It's a pretty funny looking tux.
He sent me a skirt.
Oh, actually, it's a kilt.
Excuse me?
Well, it's traditional Scottish formal wear.
I don't care where it's from. I'm not wearing a skirt to your wedding.
Bruce, look, I'm sure the rental place just sent you the wrong box. Did you call them?
Apparently, they did not send me the wrong box.
What are you telling me? Did Stuart really want one of his groomsmen to wear a skirt?
Judge Gray, Peter and Kyle are calling for you.
They're calling together?
Yeah. And they sound really angry, and they want Stu's number.
If you need me here.
Which I don't. You are the mother of the bride. You're allowed 2 days off. Besides, I know you've got a lot of primping to do.
I beg your pardon?
Well, not that you need a lot of primping. Or any primping, for that matter. You are, and always have been, perfectly primped.
Oh, Sean, stop. Amy wants me to get a pedicure. Heaven forbid I stick my unpolished toes into my horrendously painful shoes. And I have to pick up my dress, and I need to get an apartment. That's all.
Well, that sounds like enough.
And then there's Joanne.
Who's Joanne?
Oh, Stu's mother. She's in town for the wedding. She's staying with us. And Amy wants me to entertain her for 48 hours.
Ah, dawn breaks over Marblehead.
I have no idea what that means.
But you can't stand Stu's mother.
I have never met Stu's mother.
And yet, you've already decided you can't stand her.
I thought perhaps I could bring her here, and maybe we could all go out to lunch. Any place but that karaoke joint that you frequent.
I only go on Sinatra night, and how do you know about that?
Sean, you have a hobby. It's nothing to get defensive about.
Defensive? I'm not being defensive. Who's being defensive? Well, I know. I guess I wanted it to be a surprise.
Well, it worked. I'm surprised. And Peter and Kyle and Bruce, they're really surprised.
Yeah, how mad are they? You don't have to answer that.
They thought they were being measured for tuxes, Stu.
Right, I know it was stupid. It's just, you know, I was afraid they were going to say no.
Right. Well, this is a much better plan. They refused 48 hours before the wedding. And what about me? Ever occurred to you I didn't want the groomsmen to look like they walked out of Benny Hill?
But it's not going to look like that.
You always do this.
I always do what?
Forget it. It's not. Just got a lot going on right now.
Let me treat you to some vendable item. Okay. Look, you know, you're right. Of course I should have brought it up early. I mean, of course. It's just, you
No. Okay, no. Yes, we will talk about it later because I'm too upset right now. But Vince isn't coming.
That stinks.
Yeah, wouldn't even call me. Make Kyle do it. He's too afraid.
Well, he's not stupid.
Yes, he is. What does he think? I'm going to forget he missed my wedding? Sooner or later, he's going to have to talk to me. I'm just going to get angrier.
I know. And another thing, his kilt. It's non-refundable.
That was awesome. She was really mad.
I don't know. Maybe this isn't such a good idea.
Oh, come on. It'll be funny.
I think there's about a 50% chance she's going to take a swing at me.
And that will be funny. Hi.
There you are. All right, this better be good. I just drove downtown during lunchtime rush hour.
Simmer down. You're killing the suspense.
I don't have time for suspense. I got about 4 minutes before I got to turn around and get back to court.
Come out.
You. You. Oh, I can't believe it. Oh. I just got off the cell phone with Judge Gray. She said you couldn't make it.
Yeah, we lied. It was his idea.
We're gonna surprise her.
I blew all my money on airfare, so this is kind of like my wedding gift to her.
The fact that you showed up at all was your wedding gift?
Yeah. Does that sound narcissistic? Maybe I ought to call her.
Don't you dare.
This is gonna be great! Or really, really bad.
My calendar was cleared. Did you tell them I'm getting married this weekend?
I told them all that.
And?
Apparently, Judge DeWitt's meningitis trumps your wedding.
Fine. What are we looking at?
Felony murder. Victim was the son of a police officer, so there's a lot of momentum behind it. Jury's been impaneled. State's attorney's office refuses to push it a couple of days.
Oh, sorry I'm late. What'd I miss?
Nothing much, except Judge DeWitt has meningitis, so we're due in court in 2 minutes to hear opening statements in a felony murder trial, which needs to be concluded in 47 hours or less if I have any hope of getting married on Saturday.
No, really. This is unbelievable.
Tell me about it. I'm supposed to be bathing suit shopping for Hawaii right now.
Now, this case, Judge Gray, 2 guys rob a convenience store. The owner takes his own gun, shoots one of them self-defense, and the other robber gets charged with the murder?
It's the beauty of the felony murder law.
But he wasn't anywhere near the gun. I mean, he didn't even pull the trigger. And you can put him away for life?
Life plus 20 if he delays my wedding.
All rise. Be seated.
Miss Flowers, please tell me that's not the defendant.
Is, Your Honor.
That's my felony murder? How old is he?
14.
Hold the jury. Lawyers, approach the bench.
Judge Gray, Danielle Casey with the state. The ASA's office really appreciates you picking up the slack.
What's going on here?
Excuse me?
Why is there a child in my courtroom?
Oh, that's a very good question, Your Honor.
I realize you're playing catch-up, but if you look at the file...
I've read the file.
You'll see that there was a transfer hearing last month,
Lasted all of 10 minutes.
during which the juvenile judge rightfully decided that Jacob Foster should be tried as an adult.
How the hell do you rightfully decide anything in 10 minutes?
With all due respect, Your Honor, this is not a kid who knocked over a couple of mailboxes. He's responsible for the death of a young man.
Who just happens to be the son of a decorated police officer. There's a lot of blue out there, Miss Casey. I'm not colorblind. I don't suppose that's what's motivating the state's aggressive stance.
The state is doing its job, Your Honor. This kid has a record.
Joyriding, petty theft.
Yes, apparently he started out small and worked his way up to felony murder.
Did you consider lesser charges? Has a plea been discussed?
Absolutely not. My office will settle for nothing less than felony murder.
And you realize that if a jury convicts, it's a mandatory life sentence?
It is the state's opinion that this defendant is more Billy the Kid than Dennis the Menace. How many more victims do you need before you put him away for life?
Excuse me?
Will the elevator, please? Thank you. Judge Gray, you're a hard man to track down.
Apparently not hard enough.
State's Attorney's Office needs a favor.
How perfect, because I need a favor from the state's attorney's office. Stop prosecuting 14-year-olds in adult court.
How about we start with my favor? I've got a warrant.
Good for you. Go see the judge on call.
That's what I'm doing.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God. I was going to switch with Feingold. I completely forgot. God, I remembered everything else. I'm getting married on Saturday.
Ah. Well, sign this. You can still get married. We need a phone tap on an apartment in East Hartford. He's a known meth dealer. Surveillance backs up the confidential informant. He's given us good stuff in the past.
How about my favor?
Jacob Foster?
You've heard of the case?
Everybody's heard of the case.
What does that mean?
Means a cop's kid was killed. Somebody's going to be held accountable.
Really? How about starting with the cop's kid? Felony murder is overkill. You know that.
Doesn't matter what I know. There's no deal to be made. It's not going away.
Well,
Thanks for the signature. Good luck on Saturday.
All right, I know you're confused and maybe a little angry, and you're probably wondering what's going on in my head.
Not your head, Stu. It's what's going on a little lower that's concerning us.
Okay, I understand. But you gotta trust me when I tell you that I'm not looking to humiliate anyone. I mean, least of all myself.
I think you're too late.
Everyone rents tuxedos for their grooms. I mean, there's nothing meaningful, there's nothing memorable about tuxedos at a wedding.
Oh, gosh, Stu, if memorable is what you're going for, you should just have us all walk down the aisle naked. Nobody would forget that.
I just want to know what I'm supposed to put in my purse.
Okay, before you guys reject this out of hand, let's at least get the terminology right. That is a speron, and this is not a skirt, it's a kilt. And the pattern, I mean, it's not arbitrary. It's the Collins family tartan. There's a rich history behind this kilt.
Easy there, Tiger. Don't go showing us behind the kilt.
Okay. The deal was, if we put on the kilts and saw the entire look, you would let us wear tuxes if we were still unhappy.
Yes, that was
still
the deal.
unhappy.
You guys, okay, you don't understand the emotion of this kind of ceremony. I mean, have any of you actually been to a Scottish wedding?
I saw Braveheart.
Okay. All right, Stu, you know what? You can stop selling. I'm in, okay? Here it is, guys. This is my sister's wedding, our sister's wedding, and if Amy wants us to wear kilts, then we'll wear kilts. She does want us to wear kilts, doesn't she?
She will.
In your statement, you said it looked like the defendant and his accomplice were up to something. What made you think that?
I guess it was the way they were whispering to each other when they walked in. The blonde-headed boy nudged this kid here, and then he went to the back of the store.
By blonde-haired boy, you are referring to Alvin Withers, correct?
Yes.
The kid you shot and killed.
Your Honor.
Just clarifying for the jury, Your Honor.
Well, don't do that again. We clear?
What happened next?
Then I heard a shout at the back of the store.
Did you run back there to investigate?
I took a look back there, but then the blonde-headed kid, Alvin, I noticed him reaching for my register. It was a scam. I told him to back away from the counter.
And what happened then?
That's when he pulled his gun. I carry a pistol under my counter, permanent and everything. He shot. I can't believe he missed me, but he did.
What did you do then, Mr. Halloran?
I shot back.
Nothing further, Your Honor.
Mr. Barr?
When Alvin Withers pulled out his gun, where was the defendant?
I think he was still in the back.
Where he wouldn't have been able to see what was going on?
I guess not.
And when you shot Alvin Withers, what did the defendant do?
He took off. He ran. I think he was scared.
Yes, I guess he was. Nothing further, Your Honor.
It's called a tartan, and it's actually my family's pattern.
Well, couldn't you just make the tuxedos in the family tartan?
Yeah, it's not the same thing.
The truth is, Stu just really wanted to see our legs.
Only yours.
Hey, Mom, how was the apartment? Did you sign a lease?
I could not run away fast enough.
What was wrong with this one, Grandma?
Words cannot describe.
I thought it was lovely.
It was a storage bin with windows.
It had a lot of light.
Along with a perfectly hideous next-door neighbor named Eleanor. I think she comes with the apartment.
Mom, you're running out of time here. What are you going to do?
Perhaps I can just move in with you.
Is she kidding? Tell me she's kidding.
I'd like to propose a toast.
Okay, somebody stop her. She's not so good at toast.
Stop it. I took a public speaking class. Let me do this. To the happy couple, Stu and Amy. Amy. Maxine. I know you've all been through this before, but
Mom?
it's all very new to us. To Stuart's first marriage.
What did she just say?
Oh, God. That came out wrong.
Oh, there's the souffle.
I'll get it.
I'll get it.
I'll get it.
Sit.
Stay tuned for more program information.
All right, your choice? Behind the Music Marathon or, ooh, Best of Taxi Cab Confessions.
I don't believe you. When did you get cable?
It just showed up one day.
I lived with you for, what, 2 years, and you refused to get cable on moral grounds?
Yeah, well, there's been a lot of moral slippage around here since you left. I'll get the popcorn.
I got it.
Hey, you're not Kyle.
No. I used to be. Or maybe he used to be me. I don't remember anymore. I'm Vincent.
Right, cousin Vincent. You write books.
No, actually, I wrote a book.
Kyle told me all about you.
Really? Everything or just the good stuff?
The truth? It's kind of half and half. I mean, I did hear about the little problem you had with the Mexican authorities.
Completely trumped up charges. I got the photos to prove it.
Hey, Heather? Kyle's not here.
Yeah, I heard. Will you just tell him I stopped by?
Will do.
It's nice meeting you.
What was that?
What?
You were flirting.
I was talking.
Talking with intent. That's flirting. Carol's not with you, and you were flirting with Heather.
Look, first of all, Carol is working, and she couldn't be here. I told you that. And B, I was not flirting with,
Heather? And she was flirting with you.
What can I say? Look at me. I can't shut this down. Pass Papa.
You all right?
Yeah. Why?
Just, I don't know, you seem preoccupied. You're upset about my mom's toast, right? Because she doesn't mean it.
I know. It's just the case and the wedding and...
What about the case?
I have a kid who's gonna do a life sentence for bad judgment. There's nothing I can do about it.
Yeah, you're right. It's out of your hands.
I could set aside the verdict.
Might be professional suicide. You know that. And are you mad about the kilts?
No. Fine with the kilts. It makes you happy.
No. All right, listen. Okay, this is what I'm saying. I think I went overboard, and it's just, sweetie, we can have any kind of wedding that you want. If you don't want a wedding, we can go to City Hall tomorrow morning. So all I care about is being married to you.
Oh, God.
That's right. Okay, don't you move. You don't have any shoes on.
I wreck everything.
That's right. I'm gonna get a broom. You just stay right there.
I don't know, Amy. He just said that he couldn't talk about it, and that when he got back into the country, he would call you and explain everything. Okay. Okay, well, if I hear from him, I will. Okay. See you then. Bye. If you call me, I'm supposed to tell you that she's not speaking.
A small price to pay to keep from wearing a skirt. Maybe I really will miss this wedding.
Because now we have to figure out how and when to present you.
This is just in. I'm not popping out of anything wearing a kilt.
Hi.
Heather, hi.
Hello again.
Hi.
You've met?
Oops. Kyle, Heather stopped by last night looking for you.
Yeah. So I was in the neighborhood. I thought I'd see if Vincent wanted someone to hang out with while you were busy cutting people up.
Vincent definitely wants that.
You don't want to watch me cutting people up?
Less than I can possibly describe.
There's this great bookstore that just opened downtown. I thought we could start with that.
We can eat lunch at Lucky's.
I love Lucky's. Oh, have fun at work.
Don't cut up anyone we wouldn't.
So who came up with the plan to rob the store?
Alvin. He's a liar.
Mr. Withers, please.
Don't let him put that on my boy.
I don't want to have to clear the courtroom, Miss Casey, but I will.
It won't happen again, Your Honor.
Continue, Mr. Barr.
Thank you, Your Honor. And so what was Alvin's plan?
We'd go in, we'd split up. I'd pretend to burn myself on the steam tray for the hot dogs. When the cashier came to check out what was going on, Alvin would grab the money and then we'd both run.
So what went wrong with Alvin's plan?
First of all, the guy barely even looked up from his magazine. And then Alvin just pulled out the gun. And then the guy pulled his own gun, and then, I don't know, suddenly, everyone was shooting.
Did you know going in that Alvin had a gun?
Yeah, but he said it wasn't loaded, said it didn't need to be loaded, that it would scare the guy enough.
Nothing further, Your Honor.
Cross, Your Honor? How did you know that the gun wasn't loaded?
Alvin told me.
But you never bothered to check it or ask him to show you.
No.
Because you didn't care, right? So what if someone ended up dead because of your little plan?
It wasn't my plan. I wouldn't have gone if I knew that somebody might get hurt. Alvin was my friend. Why would I want him to get hurt?
Nothing further, Your Honor.
We're going to have to forego Fancy because Fancy means slow, and I have to see another apartment at 3 o'clock.
Well, anything with valet parking and a liquor license will get my vote.
Maxine, if you're looking for an apartment, you should look at my building. I know that there's an opening, and you would just love it. It's mostly single seniors.
Single seniors, Maxine. That could be fun.
Yes, I want to spend my Saturdays planning what I'll wear to the mixer.
Oh, it's always casual. We're way past caring what anybody looks like.
Well, there, you see, I would never fit in because I have at least 5 more years of being vain and superficial.
She's found a perfectly good apartment, and she's just nervous it's her first.
Oh, I know what that's like. You imagine every little thing that can go wrong.
Well, I'm not imagining Eleanor, the next-door neighbor who wants to be my canasta partner, new best friend.
You're going to need a new best friend, Maxine. You have no idea how lonely it can get.
You have to stop trying to love your new place. You're leaving the home you've been in for your entire adult life, where you raised your kids and wiped crayon off the wall and fought with your husband and vacuumed up the Christmas tree needles. The place that will make leaving that behind okay? Maxine, that place doesn't exist.
You know what else we have? Brand new carpet. Berber, Stainmaster, River Rock.
We thought you were at work.
I can see that.
Wait. I thought you said you guys were over.
She's right.
Kyle?
You know what? I can't talk right now. I'm too busy trying to figure out why it wasn't safe to leave my girlfriend with my married cousin.
Your girlfriend? Excuse me, where exactly do you get off? Oh, wait, I know. Between the 3rd and the 4th floors of Dr. Lilly.
Who told you that?
Lloyd had a suspicion, which you just confirmed. Thank you. I'm going home. Call me.
I can explain. Explain it to your wife.
Mr. Foreman, if you could pass up the verdict, please.
May it please the court, in the matter of the State v. Jacob Foster, we, the jury, unanimously find the defendant, Jacob Foster, guilty as charged.
On behalf of all parties and on behalf of the state, I want to thank you for your service. You are hereby dismissed, and the marshal will see you out. Is there anything else from the parties?
No, Your Honor.
Your Honor, on behalf of my client, I make a motion for a judgment, notwithstanding the verdict based upon all the grounds stated before.
Granted.
Excuse me? What did she say?
I'm granting the judgment, notwithstanding the verdict. This case should never have come to my courtroom. The defendant is a juvenile with no prior record. The facts of the case show him guilty of being easily manipulated and having very poor taste in friends, but he is certainly not a murderer. The state's attorney's office would have pled him out on lesser charges, if not for the politics involved. And I don't know, maybe there is a judge out there who's perfectly willing to put away a 14-year-old for life based on politics, but you didn't get that judge. You got me. This court is now in recess.
She can't do that. Tell me that she can't do that. I had my son killed. She can't do that. No, my son is dead because of you. This is not justice. This is wrong. You can't do that. This is wrong. You can't do that.
So I guess I'll come home for my honeymoon and see if I have a job left. I hate this dress. Why did I choose this dress?
Amy, it's a lovely dress.
It's the veil, then. I'm too old for a veil. I'm too young for a hat. What was I supposed to do?
Hold still, and we will discuss the hat veil controversy when I'm hemming.
What do you think of Stu's mom?
She could be worse.
A toast to Stu's first marriage?
Well, maybe she couldn't be a lot worse.
Well, you like Stu, don't you?
Amy, I liked Michael, so obviously I'm not a very good barometer.
You saying you don't like Stu?
Thank God, a solicitor, go.
Am I interrupting the wedding?
No, just a dress rehearsal.
The phone tap was a big success, which is why we're gonna need a no-knock warrant at the same apartment. You look good in white. Stu's a lucky guy. I'm sure you'll both be very happy.
Are you? Or are you just saying that so I'll sign your warrant?
You got me. You do look good in white. Stu is a lucky guy, and the rest I'm just saying.
So you don't think we'll be happy?
I have absolutely no idea. I'm sure you'll both be extraordinarily happy.
What if we're not?
That would be bad. If you're not, I'll buy you a cup of coffee. You can tell me all about how wrong I was.
You need corroboration. I don't trust your confidential informant.
Come on, be kidding. I'm on a clock here.
You and me both. Round up another reliable drug addict. You have till 2 tomorrow afternoon.
So you'll take the word of 2 reliable drug addicts?
Good luck.
You good?
Oh, no men allowed.
Not even men in skirts?
Donna. Do this for me.
What's with him?
Long story.
I like it.
I think so. There's a moral slippage involved.
Judge Gray? Close your eyes.
Why?
Just do it. Okay, now open them.
Uncle Vincent!
Oh, sweetheart.
This is perfect. All right, everybody, get away from him. This is my wedding present. You guys can talk to him when I'm on my honeymoon. Hi. You were a jerk.
It was Kyle's idea.
Well, yeah, I had enough to worry about without thinking you were missing my wedding.
I promise. I will never miss any of your weddings.
What's that supposed to mean?
Well, it's a joke. You okay?
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Nothing that a week in Maui and 200 Mai Tais can't fix.
Mom, they're lining us up.
I'll be right there, honey.
Right now.
I don't think they're gonna start without me.
So someday when we have the time, you have to explain to me how you fell in love with this guy. 'Cause the last thing I remember, you hated him.
He changed.
That's great. Unless he changes back.
Mom, now.
Showtime.
Get ready, Amy.
I got the signatures you asked for.
Hi, sorry I'm late. I'm taking Bruce's place. What do I do?
Bruce isn't coming?
He has a headache.
You're a terrible liar. Go through that door. I guess my best friend isn't coming.
I'm sorry. Do you think you could...
I can't.
Probably not a good time.
Now, Amy.
Dearly beloved, we are gathered here today in the sight of God and the presence and the witness of these friends and loved ones to join Amy and Stu in the bonds of holy matrimony, whose hearts are intertwined as one and who now stand here to form a permanent and unshakable union.
Excuse me. I just need a minute.
I'll be right back.
Hello, everyone. I'm Sean Potter. I'm the boss of the mother of the bride, and I'm sure we'll be underway in just a minute. But perhaps while we're waiting, maybe a little more wedding music is in order. And now the end is near, and so I face the final curtain. My friend, I'll say it clear, I'll state my case, of which I'm certain.
Oh, dear God.
I've lived the life that...
Amy? What are you doing in here?
It's the only private place I could find.
Okay, what's wrong? What's wrong? All right, sit down. Okay, I don't understand.
See, that's the thing. You don't understand. You don't understand me on some huge level.
Look, baby, where's this coming from?
I had this thought. It was in the back of my mind, and it's that I can't. There's not really a nice word for it.
Okay.
It's like you're a bully.
I'm a bully?
Yeah. Yeah, a really nice, really charming, really wonderful bully. You remember when I didn't want to go camping?
This is about camping?
No, you're not listening. No, like when I didn't want to have lunch with your mother, or I didn't want to go skydiving on my honeymoon.
Right, you won that one.
Right, but the point is I had to fight. I had to explain, like not wanting kilts, or I didn't want to sell my house. I should be marrying a guy who understands these things.
Oh, come on. I mean, you know, the way I see it is, yes, I do. I always coax you into doing things, but then you end up being so glad that you did them, which makes for a fantastic relationship.
No, it doesn't. It's always you. It always comes from you. It's not back and forth. It's always me following, and then I lose myself.
It's okay. No, it's okay. No, it's okay. Look. The last thing in the world that I want is for you to marry me if you have reservations, okay? You know, I mean, my God, you have had so much going on these last few weeks. We could, you know what? We'll push this whole thing off for a few months, okay? All right, and I'll tell them, they got the party, they'll get drunk, it'll be fine. I'll go out there and I'll explain it to them, and then, but I want us to go away for the week, and we can go to Hawaii and just have some time, you know, you and me alone, and it'll be great, and you'll come back a different person.
Or I'll be talked into doing something I know is wrong.
No, okay, we won't even talk about getting married. Just come on, we'll go tell everyone, and it's gonna be fine.
You're doing it again. Don't tell me what I want to do. If we put off the wedding, we're just gonna end up back here, and I don't think I can do this more than once. It's too hard.
What are you saying? What are you saying? What are you saying? You saying you don't want to marry me now? You don't want to marry me ever?
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
Are you sure?
No. Yes, I'm sure. I hate this. It is. I am so sorry.
No, it's okay. I'm like, you're being so very brave and honest. It's just, I don't want to be here.
I love you so much.
Well, apparently that's not enough.
Amy, Stuart is going out the back door. Are you all right? Honey. Can I help?
Can you ask everybody to go home?
Yes, I can do that. Or I can just let Sean keep singing and it will happen naturally. Do you need anything else?
Just that. Yeah, if you just do that. Okay.
Hey, everybody's just going out to dinner. I'm assuming you don't want to come. Okay. Can we get you something?
Vincent. I made a fool of myself, didn't I? I can live with that. But I hurt Stu so badly.
You saved him the pain of a bad marriage and a divorce. That's a much worse pain. You remember that great oncologist that Carol found? She's living with him.
Oh my God. Oh, Vincent. Why didn't you tell anybody?
Wait till you read my next novel. It's all about a guy who's transformed by screwing up a lot.
Not a crappy way for life to work.
When I create my own universe, people are going to grow and learn by eating ice cream and having a lot of sex.
What is the name of that universe? Well, I'd like to go to that planet.
I heard the swing. Listen, I know this is a horrible time, but my bad guy's loading up his U-Haul as we speak.
Do you have a pen?
Yes. You're sober, right? Thank you. You did the right thing.
You don't know me.
I know you well enough to know that. Thanks. Good night.
You owe me a cup of coffee.
I'm good for it.
ভাই কি দেখেন?
বাইকটা কি আপনার?
হ্যাঁ আমার বাইক কি হয়েছে?
নাম্বার প্লেট কই?
সেটা দিয়ে আপনার কি দরকার?
রাইট দেন।
হ্যাঁ রাইট দিই, কি হয়েছে?
বেরিবাদ যাবেন?
না ভাই এই মুহূর্তে বেরিবাদ যাবো না ভাই।
ভাই চলেন না, আমার মায় অসুস্থ।
ভাই আমার রাইড শেষ, আমার পোলার আছে জন্মদিন, আমার তাড়াতাড়ি বাড়ি যাইতে হবে, আমি যাইতে পারবো না। তো আপনি আর একটা রাইড দেখেন, এ নিয়ে যাবো আপনারে।
ভাই বিপদ তার বইলে আসেন, আমার মায় অসুস্থ ভাই, আপনার মা অসুস্থ থাকলে কি একজন হেল্প করতো না?
এই মুহূর্তে ভাই এই বেরিবাদে আমার বাড়িটা থাকলো উল্টা দিকে, আমার যাইতে অনেক দেরি হয়ে যাবো।
ভাই একটু স্যাক্রিফাইস করেন না ভাই, আমার মা অসুস্থ, আপনার মা অসুস্থ থাকলে কি আপনি করতেন না?
আরে
একটু বাড়াই দেবো ভাই, চলেন ভাই।
আরে এই সময় বেরিবাদ কেমনে যাবো
ভাই? আয়ান না, আমি তো আপনার সাথে যাইতেছি ভাই, আমার একটু নামাই দিয়ে আসেন, খুব দরকার ভাই। চলেন ভাই।
আচ্ছা ঠিক আছে চলেন। ভাই কোন দিকে? ভাই আর কোন দিকে যাবো কোন তো? সেই কখন থেকে তো সামনে সামনে করতেছে।
মা, শফিকরে ডাক দাও।
আমার অনেক রাত হয়েছে।
তাহলে একটা কাজ করো, ওর জন্য একটা কেকের পিস রেখে দাও।
আচ্ছা রাইখা দিব না, কাল সকালে তুই দিয়ে আসিস।
মা, মোমবাতি কই?
মোমবাতি আনতে তো ভুলে গেছি একদম।
তাহলে কাজ করো, বাবাকে আনতে কইয়া দাও।
তোর বাপ কি জানে যে কেক কিনে নিয়ে আসছি? আচ্ছা আগে আসুক, তারপরে দোকানে পাঠাবো না মামা।
তাহলে একটা কাজ করি, আমি নিজে গিয়ে নিয়ে আসি।
ছোট মানুষের রাতে বেলা বাইরে যাওয়া নিষেধ তোরে শিখাইছি না?
তাহলে আবার একটা কাজ করো, বাবাকে ফোন দিয়ে কইয়া দাও বেলুন আনতে, আর বলবা যে তাড়াতাড়ি আসতে।
আর একটু অপেক্ষা করি, হ্যাঁ তারপর কমনে।
আজকে যদি আব্বু আম্মু যদি আমারে যদি বলতো
anh bên đây đồ tao nói cái từ đấy anh bảo cho ta tắm 3 máu bao giờ anh mới chết đừng qua kinh ấy anh phát kiếm vào đây của ông kiếm anh có tiền sao mát sau mà trung tâm giờ thì bắt đầu một vụ 2, 3, 4, 3 phải học mà giờ anh học 7 đây là anh phải buổi chiều thêm mẹ không đừng học 6 giờ 7 rưỡi thôi anh phải dậy buổi chiều thêm đêm về anh quay cho anh trai hát không phải 7 chiếc tình quay phát xong game này xong hết luôn như game này sao chết lượt quay game thì đừng quay nữa không hay là gì làm mình đã không kệ thằng quốc tế gan yêu à béo bia ở thần thoại à ăn thì như vậy tự nhiên quanh gì nhỉ? Bạt pháo súng xương cá. Đúng rồi. Đấy. Làm một tí trứng, một tí là kim lông đấy. Hai ba cũng thịt phải quân mà hai quân để đẻ được chịu. Cái này có mấy cái thằng cái game này là game mà mình quay này còn giấu quất cơ, một chốt 250 game thôi. Sau khi farm game ra 1 tỷ game, anh phải farm 1 tỷ game rồi. Giấu tục có thay là hay là 250 game chỉ vậy. Thua này. Còn quan trọng cường ấy. Ai đánh hắc ám thần dương mà đọc cường đéo nhưng mà là người làm việc phải cách làm việc. Dạ, trừ đấy học ít, không tự tắt không học ít đấy, nó không tự lưu đâu, nó học nó lưu vào nhưng mà học ít. Ngày xưa cứu được nó, hãy xem cách cứu ấy không, là người ta ngày xưa không có cách cứu được, nhưng mà giờ tao không có cách cứu nữa rồi. Anh chỉ tắt nhầm block rồi, anh chỉ tắt nhầm block rồi. Không gọi là crash thì nó làm thế nào? Cảnh đấy, crash máy luôn đi. Đồ đéo đâu rồi. Vàng ạ, what the hell, hắc ám đúng rồi, ẩn đấy, rồi bàn tay, nó lắp cái đó rồi, ám nó đấy à, nhớ gì nhỉ? Trời, yes, giờ nhầm. IT lui một năm đi gắt 2 anh sẽ level 2 đủ đẹp, cái gì chuyển lực kéo vào chết. Thôi anh reverse đây, lên map của em reverse luôn mà, reverse lắm. Chiều chỉ là một số lẻ chiều ở đấy chỉ là có số lẻ thôi, giờ toàn 5 tỷ thôi. Thuốc này chết rồi. Làm gì? Mấy con pet đây, sẵn. Mấy con pet đây. Có mấy con pet mà. Cứ make vào cho gọn này, cứ make vào cho gọn nói, anh liều lời xóa lắm. Vẫn ấy thằng nào 10 không? 7 hắc ám mà. Một anh đéo có ấn hắc ám để ghép. Nên một ấn 2 ấn à? Đéo có ấn nữa. Mấy cường nhau bắn rồi, mấy cường bắn tiếp từ đất kia. Bắn cho một lần thôi. Qua cho một lần tiếng đây, đấy là nốt bắn bao ra này. bắn này cấm à? Không à, hôm qua tao hỏi thôi, tao bảo là nó gửi link Facebook cho hai ông anh, nó bảo là có cái gì mà kiểu thắc mắc hay cần xử lý thì nhắn tin trực tiếp cho hai anh này nhé. Không vào không có lần tao nhắn hai ông ấy chả có tiền. nó có blog vào đâu. Rồi đấy. À, ngộ không quyền năng, ngộ không quyền năng. Chuẩn. Chưa, 2 tiếng đâu. Qua gần 2 giờ đâu nhỉ? Đây đi. Anh mới chơi được 8 tiếng rồi Vũ. 6 tiếng. À chơi 8 tiếng, 6 tiếng 4. Mấy tiếng gì? Không, cái là anh treo à? Cái lúc không cưới, lúc không quay anh cũng treo à? Biết mà nhiều anh em rất nhiều. Cảm ơn. Cái lúc mà anh còn chết là mấy tiếng đầu em đã sang là mấy tiếng sau rồi quên à? Đi ra một tù rồi, mày làm béo với tao rồi. Con Nguyen này chắc kéo ra được mất với tao, con Nguyen đấy chắc không ra được thật đấy. Quỷ đó chịu được. Quỷ Lam game thì là Linh ở cầm cái ấn nó là gì? Là ấn hắc ám. Nên cung á. Hay là đi cung lại cầm đi cung. Xoay cam nó khóc đấy. Xoay cam lắng nghe tiếng của Linh Linh phải. Xong rồi nó check viết bảo là hai thằng nói cái gì đấy. Cái bao nhiêu follow? Ngoài là cái người mày xem bao nhiêu follow? Mày lúc mày nhìn thấy bao nhiêu follow? Khoảng 200 một tháng. Nó bảo là 200 một tháng thôi. Mà cái kênh mà kênh đang mặt này. Nó bảo cái kênh đăng mặt mày là đăng kênh đầu tiên mà nó gọi tao trước, nhưng mà nó bảo là mặt mày ấy, kênh đăng ở phim mà.